Well, it's that time in the month where we talk real estate. We break down those numbers and show them in the local context. Our guy is Stephen DeLisle with DeLisle Properties. Thank you for having us in this wonderful listing, which we'll get to in a little bit. But we always like to talk to you a little bit about the numbers, where we are locally, and some of the things that we can kind of look at and break down and put it to our own lives, which is great.
Of course. These numbers are always presented to us by the Greater Greenville Association of Realtors. And if you look at the new listing slide, it'll show us that we're up 9.2% in new listings on the market this year as opposed to last year. If you look at the average price slide, it'll show us that we're up 6.2% here as well, which brings that average price to just over $390,000. And the inventory slide will show us that we're up 42.8% here also, which effectively just means that we have 4 months of inventory. Last month it was 3.5. So now we're at 4 months, and it simply means that houses are just selling around 60 days on the market before they actually get an offer on that house.
I love that you take these numbers and you break them down. Your tagline that we say over and over again is that real estate is not national, it is a local thing,
right, and
local decisions to be made. So thank you for bringing those numbers to us. It's giving us a look at what happened in March.
Of course.
Let's talk about this listing. It is beautiful. I'm in love with the backyard, but also the kitchen is a stunner too.
There's quite a few things I want to highlight about this. I'll touch on a few of them. The address is 798 Enoree River Place right here in Greer. Not only is it just 3 minutes from Highway 85, it's also just a hop, skip, and a jump from the airport as well. So if you travel a lot for work, it's a perfect location for you. The house itself is located in a cul-de-sac in the neighborhood, so you don't have any drive-through traffic. You've got a really long driveway, so the kids don't even have to ride their bike in the road. But it also has a oversized 3-car garage, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, a bonus room, a movie room complete and hooked up and wired for a projector. You also have this chef's kitchen right behind us as well that opens to this living space, perfect for any entertaining that you would want to do. It has an office space up front, a covered back porch. It also backs up to the river and trees, so privacy is absolutely perfect back here too. And the sellers, when they moved in, they actually did $50,000 worth of upgrades on this house as well, which it's beautifully staged, of course, but it's ready for its new owner.
It's great. Like you said, people that are like working in Greenville and or Greer and Spartanburg, this is an ideal location, a beautiful home. So they can always go to DeLisleProperties.com and click on this listing and take a look around it.
Yeah, if you want the detailed spreadsheet, DeLisleProperties.com, it is a featured listing.
Awesome. And so springtime is a time when lots of things are happening. People may be asking themselves, is this the best time for me to be looking at a property, for me maybe to even list my property to sell?
Yep.
Is now a good time?
It's a frequent question for sure. So the springtime, statistically speaking, there are a lot more people looking to make a move. As you just saw with those numbers, there are more listings hitting the market now than last year. So people are kind of getting out of the mindset of, I have a 2.8% interest rate, this house is too small, or whatever life event is causing them to move, they're doing it this year, it seems. And also things are greening. You've got the green grass, you've got all the flowers are blooming. So curb appeal is at its peak right now. Also, people are thinking, if we're going to move the kids out of school, we want to make sure they're no longer in school. We'll make that transition, especially if they need to move school districts as well. So that's what you're seeing is happening right now. You've got more competition, so you need to be aware of that. So yes, you have more sellers, you have more buyers, you have more options, but with that comes more competition. So it's important to hire the right agent to negotiate for what you're looking for.
Good information, because a lot of people are trying to figure out when that perfect time is to do it. So I'm glad that you broke that down for us. A lot of the things going on in the world right now, we always ask you, for folks looking to buy or sell right now, what advice would you give them as they're weighing that big decision?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and something I do want to address is the tariffs. A lot of questions almost every single day are like, hey, is this the right time to move? In addition to seasonally is what's going on in the world. Now, I want to point back to that real estate is hyper-local. It's not national. We are $100,000 cheaper on average than Charlotte and Atlanta. So the tariffs right now are not actually translating and showing up in our local market, because those numbers are all positive numbers. Yes, houses are not selling within 5 minutes, but we do have more listings and the prices are still going to continue to go up. So if you're thinking about pausing, what I would suggest, because I'm not an expert in that economic field, but what I do know is that the tariffs are going to be a lagging indicator for higher construction price. So if you're going to make a move, lock in your price now so that you're not paying that inflated price if that comes to be.
I know that you and your team will kind of follow all that's going on in the world to kind of see how it relates to the hyper-local market. Right. So if you're follow them on social media to keep up to date with all those numbers and putting it into context. Of course, if you want to know about this property or any of the properties, you can always go to DeLisleProperties.com. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.